तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। We'll chant together Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Radha Madhav ki jai, Shri Radha Govind ki jai, Shri Radha Damodar ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Shri Nrsimha Dev Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Gaura Nitai ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Okay. So Sanvika, this is a special class. You know why? Because only one special child who is God's favorite is here in this class. Okay, so the first, I will just tell you what happened in the first chapter. It was all about the military arrangement. You have heard about the Pandavas and the Kauravas. You've heard about them, right? So they were in the battlefield, almost ready to fight. I mean, they were just so ready to fight at that time. Arjuna asked Krishna, can you please place my chariot in the middle of both the armies so that I can see who I have to fight with? And when Krishna placed the chariot right in front of Bhishma, you know who's Bhishma? His grandfather, and Dronacharya, his guru, his teacher, military teacher. When he saw that, oh my God, I have to fight with my grandfather, or I have to fight with my military teacher, he found it very difficult. He said instantly, imagine Sanvika, if I have to, I'm given a gun and I have my grandfather in front of me, would I be able to shoot him? No, not at all. So Arjuna is so confused. He's like, and I don't want to fight. And then he gives reasons. He said, no, if I fight, then everyone will die. So he was very compassionate. He didn't want to kill. He said, no, I don't want to see so much bloodshed. Then he said, I don't want to fight because there is no fun. Is there any fun killing our own people? No, there is no fun. No. So he said, no, I don't want to fight. Then he said, oh, it's going to be so sinful. Isn't it a sin to kill people? So he said, it's so sinful. I don't want to kill. Then he said, everybody, all the elders will die in the family. Then there will be no family values left. That means all the families will be ruined. So he gave these reasons. And then in the next chapter, how it starts, the next chapter, and saying thus, he just sat down on his chariot. He said, I don't want to fight. This is how chapter first ended. Okay. In the second chapter, Sanjay is telling to, who is he telling to? Dhritarashtra is saying, when Lord Krishna saw Arjuna so full of tears and that he was like not ready to fight at all, but he was a very heroic, fighter, seeing a very powerful, strong fighter crying like that. Lord Krishna, this is Sanjay, he's reporting it to Dhritarashtra. He's saying, after seeing Arjuna with, tear-stained cheeks, Lord Krishna starts to speak. So in the verse 2.2, in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna starts speaking for the first time. What is Lord Krishna saying? Lord Krishna is saying, what's wrong with you, Arjuna? Lord Krishna is not happy with Arjuna. See, if a fighter says, I don't want to fight because there's going to be so much blood, it doesn't suit a fighter, right? He's not a Brahmana that he's acting like, oh, so much bloodshed, oh, so much violence. I don't want. He's a fighter. He should be brave. He should just get up and be always ready to fight with his enemies. So Krishna is saying, what's wrong with you? This is not suiting you at all. You should get up, Arjun. Give up all this, miserliness and this weakness of heart. Get up and fight. He's just encouraging him that you have to get up and fight. Because if you behave like this, then you are going to get what? Infamous. Everybody will say Arjuna was a coward. Arjuna was a coward, and no one will understand that he was only compassionate. Okay, then Arjuna, he says, "How do you think that I can kill my uh, teacher? I can kill my grandfather? I mean, if they are standing in front of me, I can't even reply with words. I mean, if they say something to me, that time when I can't give them a reply of words, how can I give them a reply of arrows? If they shoot arrows at me, I will not be able to shoot at them." And then Srila Prabhupada, he explains to us in the purport that Arjuna wanted to indirectly say to Krishna, did you ever kill your grandfather Ugrasen? No. Did you kill your Guru Sandipani Muni? No. Then how do you expect that I will be able to kill my Guru Dronacharya and my grandfather Bhishma? Okay. Then Arjuna is saying, they are my worshipable, seniors. And instead of killing them, it would be better if I have to live, my life just by begging. Okay. I don't want to kill. And he says, I'm so confused. Oh my Lord, I don't know what is good for me, whether I should, kill them or I should let them kill me. So this is the last reason that Arjuna gives for not fighting. He says, I'm very, very confused. And then in 2.7, he says, I now uh, announce you as my teacher. Please, earlier on, what was the relationship between Arjuna and Shri Krishna? You know how they were related? They were friends, right? They were friends. And yeah, and they were cousins also. But he says, now I want you to be my teacher and you please guide me. So many times when we don't know what to do in our life, Sanmika, what do? We approach our parents, our teachers, our elders. We do that, right? We tell them, please, yeah, when we are confused, we need help. We need people to guide us. So he needed Krishna to guide him to take the right decision. I don't know what to do. Please tell me what is good for me and tell me for sure. When Arjuna asks this question, and he says that I am putting up this question to you because I can't overcome this grief that has overtaken me, and nothing seems so motivating, for me to go ahead and kill people. So now Sanjay is reporting this scene to Dhritarashtra. While Sanjay and Dhritarashtra are sitting there in their palace in Hastinapur, Sanjay had that divine vision. He was in one place, but he could see everything in the other place, in Kurukshetra or whatever was happening. So Sanjay is reporting this to, uh, like, you saying something? Okay. Yeah, so, like,
but where is photos?
Picture, slides, huh?
You want to see the slides?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I will share the PPT. I will just share the slides with you. You can see this one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We won't be having too many pictures, but yeah, I can certainly show you some. So you can see that there are fighters on both the sides. Okay. And here, this is Arjuna, this is Shri Krishna. Arjuna had asked Shri Krishna to take the chariot in the middle of the army because he wanted to see who he has to fight with. And this is where he saw Arjuna was now here. But you can see my cursor. Arjuna was now somewhere here. And here he could see that somewhere here his guru and his grandfather, his teacher and grandfather were standing. And then was the time when he got super confused and he didn't really want to fight. And then we were talking about the way this chapter has been divided into 5 sections. We will not do the details. And when Arjuna gave his reasons for not fighting, see here, now they both are sitting, and Sri Krishna is trying to explain Arjuna that why he should fight. So when when Sanjay said, seeing Arjuna in so much confusion, uh, what did um, what did Sri Krishna do? He was smiling. He was smiling. See, you can see Krishna, Lord Krishna is smiling. So Lord Krishna is smiling and he's thinking, oh my God, just look at Arjuna. He's confused over such a silly thing. Have you seen sometimes when you're playing, maybe you're doing a puzzle game or something, and you're not able to fix the pieces, and sometimes a child gets so upset, and you have seen your parents must be smiling at you. Ki, oh my God, Sanvika is worried over such a small little thing that she cannot put the puzzle pieces together. The same way, Lord Krishna is smiling because Masi, everybody is Lord Krishna's child, right? So he's just like father. He's a father to everybody. So as a father, he's smiling and he's thinking, oh my God, Arjuna is confused over such a simple thing. It was his duty to fight, and just look at him. He's not ready to fight at all. So Lord Krishna starts to tell, don't worry, Arjun. There was never a time when you were not there, or I was not there, or these king were not there, and whatever body we have now, it is going to see, we are small children and infants, and then we become a small little child like your age, and then we become a little teenager type age, and then we become adult, then we become old, and then we leave the body. So a soul continuously, while being in the body, his body is changing. See, if I ask you, Sanvika, do you have a dress when you were 1 year old? You're 5 years, right? So when you were 1 year old, can you fit into the same dress now? No. Can you wear your clothes? No, you cannot. That means your body is changing. So constantly our body is changing. But if a person is sober, intelligent, dhira, he's not bewildered. We don't have to worry about that. And finally, when the body is no more of any use, the soul will transfer into, it will transmigrate into a new body. And whatever Lord Krishna is saying, whatever, okay, tell me. Suppose you were very happy over your mama or your papa getting you something, some nice gift they got you, and you were very, very happy about it. Are you happy about it every day over the same thing? No. Are you? You keep, maybe your mama got you your favorite toy, okay? And that time you were 4 years old. Now you're 5. Are you still happy about getting the same toy? No. Now you want something else? Definitely you want something else, right? So whatever happiness, or maybe imagine that you were when you were 4 year old, and you did something very naughty, and maybe your mama scolded you a lot. Are you still sad about that? No. So are we sad or happy about the same thing for a very long time? No. It just passes. The feeling of being very happy or the feeling of being very sad, it's just very temporary. It just passes on. So Lord Krishna is saying right now, Arjuna is very, very, very sad because he doesn't want to fight. So Krishna is saying, please don't worry. This sadness that you are feeling now is very temporary. It will pass away. And this feeling will go and you will be happy. Why you will be happy? How can we be happy by killing our own people? Because Shri Krishna is saying, you're going to fight for dharma, for religion. If you fight for the right purpose, then you will not be sad. So Krishna is saying, don't be worried about this happiness or sadness. And intelligent people are never worried about all these things. And then he says that the one who stays inside, us? Tell me who's inside your body. Our soul. Who's inside the body? Our soul. Yeah. So soul is always there, even if the body changes. Will anything happen to the soul? No, nothing will happen. So in the next section, see, up to Krishna gives the first instructions. Okay. When Arjuna is crying and he doesn't want to fight, and then when Krishna sees Arjuna so sad, and this is the time when he's giving all these instructions that don't worry, soul will never die, and body can never be saved. Do you know of anyone who continues to live for thousands of years? No. We know people just come and people just go, don't they? They have to leave the body. but the soul is always there. Okay, this for so many verses, Krishna goes on and on telling Arjuna the same thing, that na jayate mriyate va kadach, never the soul will be born, never the soul can die. Arjuna is tense because he doesn't want to kill. Shri Krishna is saying, don't worry, you will not be able to kill them because you can never kill a soul. And if you're worried about the body, don't worry, you yourself said that whoever takes birth has to leave this body, whoever leaves this body, the one who dies has to come back in another body. So is there any problem? No. He's saying, imagine that you have a dress, okay, and when your dress becomes really very very old, it is all worn out and now it is a little torn, maybe a little bit faded, then your mother will tell you, Sanvika, can we please give away with this, we do away with this dress and can we buy you a new one? Are you sad at that time? No. Aren't you happy about getting a new dress? Yeah, you're very happy. So that's what Shri Krishna is telling Arjuna. See, if you are talking about your grandfather, this body is just a dress. Now his dress is very old. It's really all right. He can just give away this body as this dress of the soul, and he will get a new body. So in a new body, he will be more fresh. Okay, tell me. Is a very very old man, very active, happy, playing around, running around, jumping around, or a small little child is jumping and hopping around here and there? Who jumps and hops and who's very happy? A small child or a very old man? Yeah. So his grandfather and guru are very old. So Lord Krishna is saying it is really all right that if they change this body and they come into a new body, it will be very nice for them. Their soul is already tired in such an old body. And about the soul, he says, you cannot. Can you make a hole in the soul? No. Can you make the soul wet? No. Can you dry it up? No. You cannot. He's saying it is indestructible, invincible. You will not be able to harm the soul at all. So don't worry. Every time Lord Krishna is just trying to convince Arjuna that Arjun, it is really all right. Get up and fight. It's okay. Don't worry. See, he's worried about killing his people. Lord Krishna is saying, no, it's all right. So he till now he was dealing with that doubt of Arjuna when Arjuna said that he was feeling compassionate. Oh my God, I don't want to kill. So Lord Krishna convinced him, you cannot kill. Second, Arjuna said, do you remember the second doubt that I told you what Arjuna said, why he doesn't want to fight? He had said, there will be no fun. And third, he has said, it will be sinful. So Lord Krishna is saying, if you do not follow your dharma, what is the dharma? What is the duty of a Kshatriya? You know who's a Kshatriya? Do you know who's a Kshatriya? The people who are in the army. What is the duty of the people in the army? To fight for the country. You have heard that? They have to? Yeah. They have to fight for the country. So can you imagine a soldier going up there in the onto the border and saying, I cannot fight? No. Shri Krishna is saying it is your dharma, it is your duty. Now imagine, Sanvika, you're supposed to study. You go to school and you come back and you go to school and you tell your teacher, I don't want to study. Is it befitting? Does it suit you? No. As a student, when you have gone to school, it is your duty to study. Can we say, no, I don't want? No. Now imagine your mama is taking you for some basketball classes or whatever sports that you like to play. Maybe basketball, for example, or a badminton class or whatever you like. Now you go there and you say, I don't want to play. Will that be okay? No. When you have to go to play, you have to play. When you have to study, you have to study. You cannot say, I don't want to do that. So as of now, Arjuna, he has to fight. So he has to fight. It is our duty. So Krishna is saying, you cannot turn your face away from your duty. This comes in the next section. What is Lord Krishna saying? That you have to work for me. Suppose you tell your mama, Mama, I don't want to study. What will your mama say? If you love me, please do your homework. Does your mama say like that? Suppose you say, Mama, I don't feel like eating. Mama saying, no, Sanvika, if you love me, please don't bother me. Please finish your meals and then we'll do the next thing. She does like that, right? So for your mother's sake, sometimes you feel, okay, let me eat, okay, let me study, okay, let me play, okay, let me not watch too much television, let me not play on the phone. Why? Because you love your parents. And if your parents say, don't do it, so you do listen to them. You listen to them or you don't listen to them? You do listen to them, right?
Yeah.
Do you obey your parents? Do you listen to them?
Yeah.
If they say, do you play too much on the phone?
No.
You play on the iPad?
No.
Do you watch too much television?
No.
You're a very good girl. You're an extremely well-behaved child. Your mama must be so happy. She must be feeling so blessed to have such a sweet child like you. Yeah, so that's what Shri Krishna is trying to explain it to Arjuna. It's like your duty. As in, when a mama says, no, it's time to study. No, it's time to sleep. No, it's time to eat. So that's what Shri Krishna is saying. It's time to fight. You cannot say just, no, I don't want. Otherwise, it'll be like disobeying your father. Krishna is the father of all. That's what he's saying. No, you have to fight because it is your duty. Because I am asking you to fight. Okay, suppose you don't want to study. Then what will your mama tell you? She will say, see, if you do not study, you will not get good marks. People will not respect you. Isn't it? She says like that. That's what Sri Krishna is saying. Arjuna, you're such a strong fighter. If you say, I don't want to fight, then everyone is going to talk so bad about you, and everyone is going to then insult you. And then everyone is saying, what a coward. Arjun was such a coward, and he just left the fight because the battle, because was he not strong enough to fight? Krishna is saying they will talk very, very rough, very rude, and they will, blame you for being a coward. So, will you like it at that time? Is there any fun in people talking bad about you? No. So, what was the second reason Arjuna had given to Lord Krishna? That there is no fun. I don't see any enjoyment killing my own people. So, Krishna is saying, okay, when people talk bad about you, is there any fun? Tell me, Sanvika. If people say Sanvika is a very, very good girl, will you like it at that time? Or if they say Sanvika is a bad girl, no, doesn't listen to mama, papa, will you like it at that time? What will you like it? You will like it if people talk nice about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Sanvika is such a obedient child. She listens. So that's what Shri Krishna is saying. Arjuna, if people talk bad about you, is there any fun? No, there is no fun in people talking so bad about me. So Krishna doesn't want that to happen. Will your mama ever want you to have a bad name? No. Even if sometimes you're very naughty with her, even if sometimes you're not listening to her, will your mama go out and tell to other people Sanvika is a bad girl? No. Mama will always say Sanvika is such a darling. She always listens to me. Yeah, she will do that. So he's saying, Arjuna, please don't think that you will be happy or sad or, you will get profit or loss or, a victory or no victory. Don't think about anything. Just fight. Like your mama says, don't think about anything else, Anvika. Just study. Now you have to only study. So that's how Sri Krishna is talking to Arjuna. That's right. Now it's your duty. Just fight. Okay. In the next section, what happens? Krishna is saying, what is Lord Krishna explaining? That if you work like that, like how? If you obey me, follow my instructions, then you will be not bound. How do we relate to this in your day-to-day life? Suppose you have your term. Do you have exams? Have you ever faced any unit tests or exams or something like that? In your school or not yet because you're just 5. I don't know how they assess. Any assessments in your school? Do you have? No exams?
No.
No exams? Okay. Do you know what exams are? Do you have class test? Does your teacher ever tell you, come prepared, learn this, prepare this and come and tell me?
Yeah.
Yeah, she does. Okay. So what will be like if she gives you some homework, some assignment for your home, and if you go there without any preparation, if you do not do your homework, how does your teacher then deal with you? Have you ever done that? Okay, for the last 1.5 years, you must be, your classes are online, right? Have you started going in person to school? No? Not yet?
Yeah, I am going.
You are going. Okay. Do you come back with any homework? Anything that your teacher asks you to do? Samika, you have to come. Yeah. What will happen if you don't do that? Will she like it?
We don't know anything.
You don't do anything?
Yeah.
No homework for, nothing for you to study at home? Cool. No, you're very, very small.
Yeah, Mataji, she's kindergarten.
Kindergarten, not much work to be given as.
Yeah.
Mama.
Listen.
Okay. So not much work is given. But Samika, when you grow up, then at that time your teachers will expect, they will give you something to write, and they will give you, okay, Samika, this much you have to complete at home and come back with all the work. So, okay, if you do not know about this examination concept, we can understand it from something else that your mama has asked you to do. Your mama must have told you, Sanmika, please put your clothes in the laundry bag, your dirty clothes in the laundry. She does that? Do you listen to her?
Yeah.
Your dirty clothes, do you put them in the laundry? You don't put them in the laundry? Do you make your bed? You don't make. Okay, is there anything in the home you do to help your mama with the household chores? Yeah, you help her? You help her with what?
Yeah.
ఏం చేస్తాను నాకు
నీకు బొమ్మలు ఎత్తుతా.
క్లీనింగ్ చేస్తాను.
I should do cleaning for my mother. Help.
You help your mama in cleaning?
Yeah.
Very nice. And if you don't do that, will she like it? No? She's going to be so sad. So now Arjuna, if he doesn't, so if Arjuna is refusing to fight, Shri Krishna is going to be so sad. Is he not going to be? So should we make our parents sad?
No.
No, we should always listen to them. Yeah. So, and you should be firm. You should be firm with that I decide that I will always listen to my mother. I will always please her. I will never do anything to make her upset or to make her sad. That's what Krishna is saying. Vyavasayatmika buddhi rekha kurunandana. You should have single pointed attention that I have to listen to Lord Krishna always. And I don't have to do anything which doesn't like it. Then Lord Krishna says that if you always want to enjoy and you don't want to work, will that work? No. No, sometimes you have to work also. Okay. So Lord Krishna is telling this to Arjuna that you have to basically do your duty. Arjuna is perplexed about whether he should fight or no. So Lord Krishna is saying, Karmanye vadikaraste, karmanye madikaraste. It means that you have right only on your karma and not on the result. Don't worry what will happen to the outcome of the battle. Arjun, get up and fight because you cannot decide not to fight because I am not giving you an option to do that. Perform your duty. This entire section is about Buddhi Yoga, means he's just forcing Arjuna to perform your duty. You do your duty. Whatever is the outcome, please don't worry. Continue to just fight. Because if you fight, because I am asking you to fight, then you will not get the bad result. Arjuna was thinking, oh my God, sin will overcome us and there will be no fun. So he's saying, don't worry. There will be no sin for you because you are listening to me. And if you listen to God, you know what it is like listening to God?
Yeah.
It's like listening to your parents. So following the instructions of your parents is like listening to Shri Krishna. So if your parents are asking you to do something, that means we are listening to the Lord, because indirectly, see, does your Baba tell you, Sanvika, you have to get up and do you chant? Do you chant, Sanvika? The Mahamantra? Do you know what Mahamantra we chant? Can you put your hands up and chant with me once? Hare, put your hands up. No, put your hands up like this. Say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Rama. Hare Rama.
Rama Rama.
Rama Rama. Hare Hare.
Hare.
Very nice. Do you do it on the beach?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many rounds do you chant?
2.
1, 2. Excellent. So, do you find time? Do you like it? Or you do it because your mummy is asking? Did you like to chant?
Yeah.
Or you do it just to please your mother?
నువ్వు రోజు ప్రే చేస్తావు కదా అదే అడుగుతున్నా.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's very nice. So Lord Krishna, that's what Lord Krishna wants Arjuna to do. That like your mama asks you to chant because she knows the importance of chanting. So right now, Lord Krishna knows that what is good for Arjuna, that to go ahead and fight. So here in the next section, what is he saying? That if you always listen to me, then you will be on the platform of Samadhi liberation. You will be mukta. Mukta means free, free from the reaction. Imagine if your mama is giving you a whole palette of colors, okay, and she's giving you some paper and she's saying go ahead and paint. Now you make a lot of mess. Have you ever used watercolors? Have you ever painted? Have you tried painting
Yeah.
with crayons, with colors? You know, it can get, sometimes it can get really, really messy. But does your mommy scold you? No, because she asked you in the first place. Sit, okay, fine, go ahead, do the coloring. Whatever the result is, I will take care. Even if it is a mess, I will take care. So that's what Shri Krishna is saying. Arjuna, don't worry. Whatever will happen, I will take care of the result. You just get up and fight. See, this entire second chapter is about this only, that Arjuna get up and fight. Lord Krishna is just trying to convince Arjuna that why he should fight, why it is important. And then he says that we have to be not disturbed with as I told you, we can't be happy or sad over the same thing for a very long time. So that's what he's explaining, that a balanced person is one who doesn't get disturbed. A balanced person is one who's happy with whatever good or bad it comes in his way. He's like, okay, never mind. And then one who can control. Okay, tell me, Thanvika, when you go out, do you go out in malls with your parents? You go out shopping with your parents?
Yeah.
You just get out of control seeing stuff like some maybe toys and some chocolates, or I don't know if you eat chocolates or no, it's not really nice to eat them. Do you pester your parents? I want this, and you start to cry and you start to throw tantrums, and I want this and I want that. You do that?
No.
No, you're such a good girl. Yeah, so Lord Krishna in verse number 58 is, that's what Arjuna is, Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna that you should be like a tortoise, You know a tortoise? A
Yeah.
tortoise?
Yeah.
Have you seen the tortoise?
Yeah.
How you see the limbs of the tortoise? It can just put everything inside in its.
I see
Hmm.
the sea.
You've seen. Okay. A tortoise, it can just retract all the limbs inside the shell. Can put its head inside the shell, its hands, legs, everything it can just put inside and be in its shell and be so safe. And then nothing can, harm. So Lord Krishna is saying we should learn to do that. Control our senses. If I see something which I really like, I don't have to get agitated over, and I want this, and I want this, and you make your parents' life difficult, that I want this. I don't have to do that. That's what Shri Krishna is teaching. Arjuna is seeing his relatives and he's saying, I don't want to fight, I don't want to fight. And then Shri Krishna is saying, no, you have to fight. Don't think just now that they are your relatives. You have to think that it is your duty to fight because I am asking you to fight. And then he says, 62 and 63, very cute verses. Lord Krishna is saying, you know what happens? See, I will tell you. Has this thing ever happened with you that you have gone out shopping with your parents somewhere and you wanted to buy something and they didn't get you? Have you experienced something like that? You really wanted something and they didn't really buy you?
No.
No, they always get you whatever you want. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you're very sweet and a not demanding child at all. Okay, so Lord Krishna is saying, see, if we see too much about, and I want this and I want that, if you go to school and you see stuff with your fellow children and you said, and I want that, it's going to be very difficult. So Krishna is saying, I don't have to get tempted with whatever I see, because if I see and I don't get it, then I might get angry. If I get angry, then I just forget my position. If I forget and there's a loss of memory, then I will fall down. So basically, I have to stop being so demanding. I don't have to think too much about the objects of senses that I want this and I want that. Then Lord Krishna just concludes this chapter by saying that I should have a controlled mind. I don't have to get disturbed easily. I have to remain calm, cool, composed, just like the ocean. In that ocean, there are always rivers falling from all the directions. You know where the rivers go? Do you know where all the rivers go? They fall into all the rivers go and fall into various oceans. Okay. So constantly the rivers are falling into the ocean, but the ocean doesn't get disturbed. Ocean is just there. Have you seen any seaside? You've been to a beach or something? You've been there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen the ocean.
Yeah.
Have you seen the ocean just crossing its limits and coming all the way over to you? Have you seen that ever happening?
No.
The waves just stay there, right? They just come. They
Yeah.
come, they touch. Yeah, the waves come, they touch your feet, they go back, right? But all this while, from all over the places, rivers are coming and falling into the ocean, but the ocean stays in its limit. So that's what Shri Krishna is saying. You will have, desires like rivers coming and flowing into your mind, but you have to keep your mind cool, calm, and composed. And just like that, we have to conduct ourselves, give up all the desires. Arjuna, don't think that you are going to do anything wrong. Just get up and do your duty and get up and fight. So this is how chapter 2 ends. We have to do only one chapter in a day. I know that we still have 15 more minutes. Do you want to share something? Do you want to tell me some story or a joke or anything? What do you know about Mahabharata? Have you heard anything else about Mahabharata before this? Have you ever um, been told about any story?
No.
No?
This is the
Okay.
first time to
This is the first time? Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah. So, do you want me to tell you about who the Kauravas were and who the Pandavas were so that you know a little bit about what we are talking about? Should I tell you?
Yeah.
Are you tired? Do you want to leave? See, we have time till 8:30. If you want, I can just go on telling you stories. But if you're tired, you want to go, we can end the class also. Because I told you, today a very special session dedicated only to Sanvika. So whatever Sanvika says, you want to stay for some more time? You want to listen to some story? Do you want to go?
Yeah, she want to. Yeah, she want.
You want? Okay, fine. Okay, so Sanvika, so I really like you. Yeah, so I will tell you a little bit about the Pandavas. I'll tell you the names of the Pandavas. So who was the oldest? Yudhishthir Maharaj. Then Bhima. Then Arjuna. Then Nakul and Sahadev. Now you tell me, who was the oldest? Yudhishthir Maharaj.
Yudhishthir Maharaj.
Then Bhima.
Bhima.
Then Arjuna.
Arjuna.
Nakul.
Nakul.
And Sahadev.
Sahadev.
Okay. So when we meet in the next class, will you be able to memorize all this and tell me in the next class, Ki Mataji, now I know the names of all the 5 Pandavas?
Yeah.
Quickly we will revise. Yudhishthir Maharaj.
Yeah.
Names.
Bhima.
Bhima.
Arjuna and Nakula and Sahadeva.
Nakula and Sahadev.
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 What is the name of their mummy, their mother? Kunti Maharani.
Kunti Maharani.
Kunti Maharani. What is the name of their father? Pandu Maharaj.
Pandu Maharaj.
Yeah. So now quickly one recap. Pandu Maharaj and Kunti Maharani. Their children. And there is another one more mother, Mother Madari. Okay. We don't get into that. I will just tell you the main names that you should know. Pandu Maharaj, Kunti Maharani, and their 5 children. Yudhishthir, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva. Quickly, tell me all this. Pandu and Kunti.
Kunti Rani.
Kunti Maharani. And they have these 5 children.
Yeah.
Tell me. Yudhishthir Maharaj.
Yudhishthir Maharaj.
Bhima. Arjuna. Nakula. And Sahadev. Okay. And who's Dhritarashtra Maharaj? Dhritarashtra is the brother of Pandu. Okay. Is it going to get too much? Too many names for you? You will get tired. Just let me tell you that there are Kauravas. Kauravas are 100 children. How many children, beta? 100 boys. 100 boys. And Pandavas are 5 in number. Kauravas are 100. Kauravas are 100. Yes. So 100 sons, they are called Kauravas. And these 5 boys, they are called Pandavas. Okay, you know this much? Now these Kauravas and these Pandavas, why are they fighting? Why is all this happening? Why so much Bhagavad Gita? Why? What was the basic reason? Because of greed. You know what is greed? I want more. I want more. So Duryodhan is one of the Kauravas, the oldest. Who is the oldest Kaurava? Okay. Duryodhan told the Pandavas, I will not give you your share of the kingdom. Do you have a small brother or sister, Chanvika?
No.
You don't have a small brother, or you have an older brother or an older sister? No? No? Okay.
One. Yeah.
Okay. Do you share everything with your sibling?
Yeah.
You share?
Yeah.
You are the older one, or your brother sister is the older one?
I am.
You are the older one, such a responsible child. So imagine you have something very nice with you, and your younger brother or sister comes to you, and you just snatch and say, no, I will not give you. Will it look good?
No.
No, we should be always sharing, right? So Duryodhan was like that. He said, no, I will not give you. He took away the entire kingdom. He said, I will not give you at all. Now, if you do that with your younger siblings, will your parents come? Yes, they will intervene. They will come to you and they will say, no, Sanvika, this is not right. You have to share. So that's what Sri Krishna goes to the Kauravas as a mediator, as a peacemaker. He says, no, Duryodhan, don't fight. Not good. Give them their share. Duryodhan is like, I will not give. Lord Krishna tried his level best. Duryodhan, please give them half of it. He said, I will not give. Lord Krishna said, at least give them one village. They are 5 brothers, give them 5 villages. Where will they rule? They are Kshatriyas. They need some place. They need to rule. Duryodhan said, I will not give. Lord Krishna said, he just kept reducing his demands. At least give them this much. At least give them this much. Duryodhan said, I will not give them even. You know what is the point of a needle? Have you seen a needle with which we stitch? You seen a needle?
No.
You've not seen a needle? Okay, never mind. You know what is a point? A dot? A small little dot?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Duryodhan said that I will not give even that much portion. I will not give my kingdom at all to anybody. Lord Krishna tried his level best, but Duryodhan was not ready to listen. And that is the reason why this fighting is happening. Because Sri Krishna said, I will make sure that Pandavas get their share. Suppose you fight with your small your fight to, as in you know not don't really want to give what is rightfully theirs, your parents will definitely intervene. They will say, we will make sure that you get everything equally. So it is that was the reason for this fighting. Okay, now do you know what happened once? Bhima was very powerful. How powerful was he? You know, he had the power of 1,000 elephants. How many elephants, beta?
1,000.
1,000 elephants. And as we said, Duryodhan was very evil. Duryodhan never used to like Bhima. Duryodhan said, I will make sure to kill. I don't want to see Bhima at all. He said, I think I should just finish him. And you know what he gave? He gave him some poison to eat. But Bhima was very powerful. So anyway, they were small little children. They were playing by the riverside. Okay. And Duryodhan, he administered some poison. And when he gave some poison, Bhima fell off to sleep. And when Bhima slept, uh, Duryodhan, he sent away all the boys. He said, you go. Everybody please go. Bhima is very sleepy. I will bring him. Only he and Dushasan. Dushasan, another very bad brother of Duryodhan. They were the ones who had given poison to Bhima. And now they sent all the Pandavas back. Okay. And they sent the Pandavas. And you know what they did? They said, when Bhima was sleepy, they pushed him because he was very healthy, very, very, very strong. It was very difficult for them to, throw him. But somehow by kicking, by treating him as like a ball, they just threw him in the river. And you know where did Bhima go? All the way down to Nagalok. You know what is Nagalok? Where all the snakes stay. You know, there is a place. Yeah, there is a place where only snakes stay. And Bhima went and fell there. When this heavy boy is falling in between of, he came in the way of all the snakes. You know what did the snakes do? They started to bite him. When the snakes were biting him, the snakes have poison in them. You know that, right? So that poison, so that poison of the snakes, it acted like an antidote. He was already administered poison, right? Now the snakes were biting them. He got more poison, but it was acting like a medicine. And Bhima just got up. He got up from his sleep and he's like, holding all the snakes and just breaking them into two and throwing away the snakes all over. And the snakes were so scared. They were so scared. They went to their king Vasuki. They said, someone has come and he's killing all the snakes. Then Vasuki said, oh, call him. And he saw, he said, no, no, no. He's a very special person. We need to treat him very nicely. And they gave him some drink, that one glass of drink, Sanvika. How much power that one glass had? Power of, again, 1,000 elephants. And you know what? How many glasses did Bhima drink? 9 such glasses. So now how much power he has? Tell me. 9,000 elephants. More power. Earlier on, he already had the power of 1,000 elephants. And now he has the power of 9,000. So 9 plus 1, that is how much? 9 plus 1? If you add 1, if you add 1 to 9, you get 10. So now Bhima is back with the power of 10,000 elephants, and then he was sent back up to where he stayed. And then Kunti Maharani was so scared that what have they done? And every time they were scared. Whenever they were staying there, they were very, very scared. It was a very scary time that they had together. That's why, and there was, one more time what they did. They sent them to this place where they tried to put the house on fire. Oh my God. And the house will be on fire. And then Duryodhan thought that I will not have to part away with my kingdom. So Duryodhan tried his level best to not give. But Lord Krishna then made sure that they get what is rightfully theirs. Okay. Now, Sanvika, I think it is your turn to tell me some story. You want to share something?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Name chapter.
No, chapter.
You don't know.
I'm telling you, I don't know.
You don't know any story? Okay, never mind. So we meet in the next class. You have to just tell me. Yeah, you have to tell me the names of the Pandavas. Can you do that? Do you write? Have you started to write? You've learned writing?
Yeah.
Can you just, do you practice writing every day? Your mama must be making you practice alphabets. Just write the names of these. Yeah, write the names. You do that. And the names of the Pandavas, their mother and father. Then you have to write the name of Kauravas, not all the Kauravas, just Duryodhana and Dushasan. Two names. And the names of their father and mother. Tell me what is the name of their father. I just told you, Dhritarashtra. And their mother is Gandhari. Mother Gandhari. Okay? So how much you have to write me? Please tell me. You have to write Dhritarashtra. Then you have to write Mother Gandhari. Then you have to write Duryodhan. Then you have to write Dushasan. This much. And here you have to write Maharaj Pandu, Kunti Maharani, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadev. Can you do that much?
Yeah.
Practice a little.
Where is Prihati?
She, Mataji don't know about her. She went
Uh,
outside.
Hare Krishna. Ji Mataji, she asking me something?
No, she's asking about her friend.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So Mataji, if it's not very difficult for her, can you please just make her write the names of these few characters? So it will be very easy for her to continue study. So thank you so much. We will, Sanmika, we will put your hands up together. We will chant the Maha Mantra 3 times and then we will end the class. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Or Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Sanmika. I'll just stop sharing the slide and thank you so much for being there.